Cora, a couple of weeks out from an All-Ireland final, judging by what I was talking to Sarah about the celebrations after the game, it means an awful lot to the likes of yourself and these players.
Yeah, I suppose it's huge. There's a lot of younger girls, as I said on TV last week, that hasn't got to experience this. Being an All-Ireland final, I think there's only maybe 4 or 5 of the panel that has played in Croke Park on All-Ireland final day. So, it's huge for them. I'm absolutely delighted for them that they're getting their opportunity to experience that. But we have to keep grounded. It's an All-Ireland final. We haven't won anything yet. We've no silver won this year. So it's to keep all the girls grounded and work hard for these few weeks. It's hard work that has got us here, especially over the last 8 weeks since the Connacht final. We've had to kind of maybe turn things around, change our attitude a bit, and we've done that, and it's hard work that has got us there. So we'll continue to work hard. We'll focus on our own game, and the team will certainly be right going into Croke Park on the 24th.
Yeah, and just for yourself, did you think it'd be that long getting back to an All Ireland again? I mean, Mayo enjoyed such a fantastic period in the early noughties, getting to Croke Park, contesting big matches, and it's been a struggle sometimes, I'd say, to kind of stick with it and keep that kind of perseverance going.
Yeah, I suppose you never think it's going to be that long. You think every year I go out to play, you think about Connacht titles, but you're thinking I want to get to Croke Park and you want to play on All-Ireland final day. It definitely has been a struggle at times, and sometimes people would ask you why you still playing if your medal's won, and are you a bit crazy to be still around. But I enjoyed it. I suppose it's well documented. Probably around 2010, and the team being pulled out of championship and change in managers and county board problems and issues. And as I was saying to the boys earlier on, we're quite stubborn. Mayo women are quite stubborn. I was never going to leave football only on my terms, and I'd always leave football on my own terms. I wasn't going to let anyone push us out. I suppose there was times in 2010 and maybe and 2009 where you say to yourself, "Am I doing the right thing?" And I love playing football in Brown. I love playing for my club Carnacon, and I love playing for Mayo. So I enjoy it all the time. Yeah, every year probably rolls into it, and it's 10 years since we've been there. But we're back there now, so that's the main thing. There's girls now that have soldiered for a long time, the likes of Fiona McHale, who hasn't an All-Ireland medal but maybe is playing with the guts 13 or 14 years at Mayo. The likes of Marie Corbett, who's been there through the good times and the bad times, and she's going to get her opportunity to play. And so I suppose that's maybe why me, Yvonne and Martha and if the girls stuck to give them the opportunity to get to play in Croke Park. And I'm absolutely delighted they're going to get that opportunity in a couple of weeks' time.
Beating Cork, how pleasing was that? They have been the standard bearers for the last number of years, but I mean the purpose, the way you applied yourselves to the game right from the throw-in was extremely impressive.
Yeah, I suppose any time you beat a team the calibre of Cork, I've huge, massive respect for Cork. I know a lot of the girls personally, massive respect for them. They've been the standard bearers of ladies football for the last 12 years, and we as a team Mayo aspire to be like them and to get to their level. So to beat them obviously is hugely satisfying. To beat them the last day, and even more satisfying to beat them in the way we did. I think since the Connacht final, as a group, as individuals, we kind of had to look at ourselves very hard and just say to ourselves, we were kind of going into the Connacht final and were we thinking that we were a bit better than we were, and maybe our attitude wasn't right in the day. So we kind of, the week after the Connacht final, picked ourselves back up and said, do we just now mud through the qualifiers and see what's the best we can do, or do we actually give this All-Ireland series a good shot? So as I said, we got a guy, Peter Lee, who was involved just a couple of years ago and had been in for a couple of sessions before the Connacht final, came in fully on board, and he's taken training to a whole new level, and the intensity in training, the attitude of the girls, the work of the girls, anything they've been asked to do, we've done an awful lot of extra sessions. They're there, and I think the games, the Donegal game and the Cork game especially, has shown that. But that's not going to be enough. We're going to have to keep that going. Getting to an All-Ireland final isn't what we want. I've been in Croke Park losing and winning, and there's no worse place to lose than in Croke Park. So it's to let the girls know that, and I think they know that now. So we're going to have to work extremely hard for the next 2 weeks.
Dublin, another big challenge. That's the way you like them, of course, but they will be a big challenge.
Yeah, a huge challenge. They're probably the form team of the year. They've won, their Leinster final, their All-Ireland quarter-final, their All-Ireland semi-final by big margins, the 3 games. They've put up some massive scores. They've some very, very talented forwards. there's some very, very talented backs. So yeah, it's going to be a huge challenge. They're used to this. They're going into their 4th All-Ireland final. So they're used to the occasion. We're not going to be used to the occasion. So it's going to be another big step up for us. But we're not afraid of any challenge. We're going to go out. We're going to concentrate in our own game. And I believe that if we work hard enough in our own game and worry about our own game, and if we give 100% in the day, that we will be very close to them.
For yourself personally, I remember speaking to you the Thursday before the men's final last year, and you were kind of saying, I don't know yet what I'm going to do next year. Are you happy you made the decision to stay now? That's probably the silliest question I've asked.
Yeah, I'm happy. I suppose, there was probably, at the start of the year, there's probably a little bit of pressure on, and there is, every year when you get to my age, the conundrum, are you back or you're not. Obviously I sat and thought it probably longer and harder this year than I have probably any other year, and that's going to be happening, of course, with your age. I probably sat longer and harder with Yvonne and said, what do you want to do this year? What are we going to do? I probably pushed her a little bit this year to come back. She definitely pushed me a little bit last year to come back, and I think it was a Thursday before the Galway game, sometime kind of in the middle of January, that we said, what, we were so close last year. We did quite a good year last year. We were so close. We got beaten by Dublin and Cavan by a point. We're still not going too bad. We're old, but we're still not performing too bad. Will we give it another shot? So, I was never going to come back in May and take the league off and waltz back in. It's just not me. I need to be training all the time. I need to be doing 4 or 5 nights a week to keep sharp. And I know Yvonne was the same. So we kind of just decided we'd throw a lot in. There was probably a couple of times during the year we were like wondering is the right decision. But that because we did an up and down league. But that's the way it is. Yeah, obviously we're delighted we're back now. I'm delighted for Yvonne. That she's going to get her chance to play in Croke Park. Delighted for Martha. She's going to get a chance to play in Croke Park. But as I said, the year is only going to be a success if we have the trophy come 5 o'clock on the 24th.